Hey guys, so we're going on to our next series of videos, which are going to be solar panel installation. If you're going with the AVC roof rig rack or going with another roof rack, that's fine. They have crossbars that you're going to be connecting into that are relatively similar, if not the same as the AVC roof rack, AVC RIG roof rack. The type of solar panels that we got are exactly 59 and a quarter inches, and the AVC RIG roof rack and most other roof racks for the Ford Transit are 60 inches or 60 and an eighth, right around there. So the solar panels we got special ordered from Europe. The reason why is because the type of solar panel that you can get here in the United States is not the right dimensions. You can either get them like 3 or 4 inches too small, or they're 3 or 4 inches too big. The ones that we got are 59 by 39, which means we can put 3 solar panels on there. They're 300 watts a piece, which is going to give us 900 watts. Now, if you get the little bit, there's a Panasonic and an LG. It's about 3 inches that will hang over on each side, which I personally think is kind of ugly, but it'll give you 1,050 watts of power if you put 3 of them, but they're just too big. So the ones we got are literally 3/4 of an inch smaller than the roof rack, which gives us just enough room to use these special, what are they called? I don't. I've lost it. Screws, bolts to attach to the crossbars for the roof rack. Fasteners. There you go. Fasteners. These are called UFO bolts for the obvious reason, because they look like UFOs. So what these do is, if you look them up online, they're pretty cool. They go right down into the crossbar, and then you turn it, and you can see there's little ridges that go up into the channels, and then you screw it down, and it locks it down tight. It actually chews into the metal, so it says. I believe it. So you don't actually have to slide it through on the back end or on the side. You can just drop it in, turn it, which is really cool. So you don't have to remove those crossbars. So anyway, the one thing with these UFO bolts, you can see here that I've grinded them down. Let's see if I can get it to focus. Not really focusing very well. They're too big. I had to grind it down with a bench grinder, and then I sanded it to smooth it out. But they're about half the size that they were before. The reason why is because these were made for, I'm not sure, a different type of crossbar, or for maybe a roof or something like that. Really wasn't made for a smaller one. So I cut it in half. Me and my wife sanded it down and grinded them. If you have a bench grinder, that's the fastest way to do it, and then you can sand it to make it perfectly flat. As you can see here, I drilled 12 holes, and I put them, you can take them off here. Let me see if I can do it with one hand. I can't, hang on. They screw off. I drilled 12 holes, pushed them down in, and that allowed me to sand very evenly with a hand sander. That's the long, if you don't have a bench grinder, you can sand it, but it will take a lot of sandpaper and a lot of time. Probably over an hour, hour and a half of actual sanding, and you're going to go through a lot of sandpaper. So bench grind it first, halfway down, then sand it to make it perfectly flat. That's what I did. These allow it to be clipped on the outside, and that's the way we have to do it. So we can't actually, because of space reasons, put them in between the solar panels. We're going to be putting them on the outside of the van. And this little bracket, for these type of solar panels, they're 35 millimeter. They have all kinds of different sizes. Clips right in, and then it's adjustable, of course. This screw, I put it back in here. This screw screws in, and then of course it's adjustable, which is really cool. This is why I really like these. They have teeth in them, you can see, which will bite down into the top of the solar panel. And then of course I showed you before, they have teeth going the opposite direction in the channels of the crossbars, so it's all locked together when you tighten it down. So these are also made by the same company, and these are this is grounding hardware. So on each solar panel I'm going to use some self-tappers, and I'm going to self-tap it up on the ledge of the solar panel, and then I'm going to connect copper wire. I'm going to string them together, and then I'm going to run it down into the van and into the bus bar or the grounding bar. So I will see you in the next video. These are called Ufo Fasteners. If you do a Google search and type in UFO solar panel fasteners, they will come up. See you in the next video. Okay, everybody, so here's our first grounding hardware piece we're going to be attaching to the bottom of our solar panels. Again, these are 59 and a quarter by 39 or so, 39 and a quarter. I went ahead and bolted down everything that's in the front there. All of those bolts have now been thread locked. Always remember to use the blue thread lock, never the red thread lock. The red thread lock is permanent, and you won't be able to get the bolts off ever again. So I only use the blue, just in case, of course. The reason why I didn't really tighten down the rest is because I may need to make some adjustments, but the front is done and ready to go. We're going to go ahead and we're going to use these two ladders and try to get the solar panel up there. That grounding piece of hardware is going to go underneath the panel. I'll show you where I'm going to install it here in just a couple minutes. Okay guys, so here's our 8-gauge wire, copper wire. It's copper tinned wire. I'm putting the clip right here, fastener here. All the wires are going to be coming this way, so I want them all to be coming against the crossbar, coming this way. So, hey everybody, so I'm just attaching the solar panel right now. I've got the two UFO clips over there on the end. This is again what the UFO clip looks like when the bottom is screwed in. This is what it's going to look like when you have the half panel or the side panel installed. Remember, you can see now it's a little bit brighter. I had to grind down half of this, which is perfectly fine. They're still very strong. It's stainless steel, and I believe it's a variation of hardened steel as well. So anyway, you can see the teeth there, and it's got teeth here which will grip onto the panel. So you just slip it in. In this case it's a little tight, so I'm just going to lift up the panel, and that's pretty much it. We're going to go ahead and put this piece on, and then we're going to tighten it down, and that's a wrap. And just to let you know, the dimensions are pretty much just like this. It hangs over about a millimeter, something like that, very close, but it's like that all the way around. It's nothing that you can see. You can see here that I have the ground. This is where the ground is, and of course the the inlet for the wires is right here, and the two wires are tied up, but they're going to be going this way. So and this is all, of course, this is all secured. All of these are secured with Loctite, except for these because they have locking nuts on them. This is all loose right now until I prepare it for the next panel. I'm doing one panel at a time. See you in the next video. Guys, this is what the first panel looks like. I went ahead and moved the UFO clips that were in the front. They were a little bit too close to the corner, and I'm not really sure, without doing a bunch of research, what the margins have to be to the corners, because those, obviously, this is not a CNC cut edge there. This is all just put together. So I don't want to compromise any seals, so I thought it would be best practice to stay at least 5 or 6 inches away in the front there. And I'm going to move that bar that's in the back forward so it will keep it away from the edge around the same margin, 5 or 6 inches. But I've got 2 UFO clips in the front, or 2 UFO fasteners, if you can see that. And then on the side, 1 on each side, and I'm going to continue on. Hey guys, so it's a little bit late in the day. We decided to clean the roof really well, and actually found a lot of metal and rust particles from cutting the hole over there. I guess I didn't do a good enough job cleaning, so I went to AutoZone and we got some rail dust cleaner, which is it interacts with rust and it loosens up the metal. So we cleaned, took the first solar panel off and cleaned really well. It took most of the day, and got all those little metal particles off. Anyway, just to inform you, so we took the negative to this one and connected to the negative of this one, and then the positive, I bought a 35 or 40 foot cable here to go from the positive all the way down this rail and down into the van, which I haven't done yet. These are the lights. This is the porch light. There's going to be rear lights, side lights, and also front lights. So there's a couple wires hanging off that are going to run down into the van, and I'm just zip tying it to the cross sections here of the roof rack. So that's why this cable's really long. So this is the negative, and this is the positive, which I have another cable, another long cable like this. Once we get over here, I'm going to have to connect that one so they can both go down and into the van. So I'm just making adjustments to the crossbars here and making sure everything's tight, and not quite done yet with everything. I still have to tighten these bolts and all the way down, just making minor adjustments. Use thread block, and I took the UFO bolts off so I could take this panel off, the first one, so we could clean the roof really well. So anyway, just giving you an update. Not much really to it, just adjusting. Alright guys, another video today. This is pretty much what they look like. How close it's going to be to the edge. It might actually be a little bit closer. It might be around right here. And those UFO bolts go right in perfectly. The solar panels will touch in the middle, which is fine. I had to get it as close as possible because this is our vent fan, and it just barely misses it. Just barely. So it really got the measurements perfect. I couldn't have gone any farther back on the roof fan because of the ridge there. That's as far back as the van would allow it to go. I suppose, and another situation would be for a panel to go back here and this to go forward, but we wanted this right above the bed for obvious reasons. So anyway, we've got the ground going from each side point. This is where the cables are, right on this side, coming this way. And of course I've got negative to negative to negative, and then I've got the negative long run coming right here to this black cable, and then I've got positive to positive to positive to the long positive here. We're going to run it along this pole see, I'm not sure if you can see it. I can't see very well today. It's very bright. Yeah, I'm gonna run along that pole there all the way down, and you can see those are my light wires there, and it's just hanging off the side right now. But I'm gonna do a little junction box right there where those little caps. Let's see, right there, those little 2 caps. They go directly into the van. Makes things easy. The reason why there's so many wires is because each one of those are on a different switch. So we've got the driver's side lights, which will be those 2, the front lights. The cable's hanging in the front somewhere, and then we've got these 2, which is our porch light. The reason why there's 2 wires here is because one of these is power. Same thing with over there. One of those is power, and there's multiple lights. So I've got a little jumper going from here to here, and another jumper going from there to there, and the front only has 1 cable without a jumper right now, which I have down there. These cables will also go in with all of those other cables. I haven't really figured out exactly the best way to put them all in yet, but I'm sure I'll figure it out. Figured everything else out, so no problem. Just to let you know, when you're cutting holes in your van or bus or whatever, you're going to get metal dust. And I mean, I really protected the top of the roof. I put boxes around, I put cloth down, I mean everything. I vacuumed and I air gunned it all, and I mean the whole deal, and still metal dust got all over the roof. So that's why it actually took longer than usual. I should have taken a picture, but it was literally glistening with rust, and you could feel it felt like sandpaper. You just need something called rail dust remover. You can get it at AutoZone. It's about $22 a bottle. 1 bottle will take care of this whole roof. You spray it on, it turns purple. You let it sit for 3 to 5 minutes, and then you can just take it off with a sponge. It's actually really amazing stuff. I've used it before on the bus. I love it. So now it is completely clean, minus whatever has fallen in the night from that big oak tree that is over us. So that's pretty much it. And the next video I'm going to show how it looks like underneath. It's hard to get my fingers under there and do a video at the same time, but I'm going to attempt. I'm going to do some zip tying down there. In just a couple minutes, my wife's gone and get some more zip ties just to clean it up a little bit. And then I'm going to put the UFO bolts down and start drilling holes when I figure out the best junction box to use. I mean, that's pretty much it. I know every roof rack is different, but the AVC RIG roof rack really is a phenomenal rack. I'm very, very pleased with it. I just got finished doing thread lock and all of the screw bolts here. The UFO bolts already come with a thread lock on it, so don't need to do that. But overall, it's a really good roof rack. I highly recommend it. And the panels that we got, which are 59 and some change by 39 and some change, you can see it's literally perfect. I mean, it comes within a ½ an inch once that's fully open. Couldn't have gone not even an 1/8 of an inch bigger, honestly, or we would have had problems. So it couldn't have been any better. If it would have been any bigger long ways, I wouldn't have been able to get the UFO bolts in. So really, these are phenomenal solar panels that we got. Had to special order them. Anyway, I'll see you in the next video for the UFO screws, fasteners. Tying all the cables together just to give you an idea of what it looks like. I've only done these 2 panels so far, and I haven't gone that way yet. And you can see also from this angle the ground wire and mount that we ordered. Continuing on. Hey guys, so I've got all the UFO brackets in, fasteners. It works very well. I've got 2 in the front, and the rest go down the side. 2 on each side, except for the front. There's the vent opening. I'll Not sure if you can see, but it just barely misses it by about quarter inch, and that's it fully open. These are the cables. This is what I need to get inside. I thought about using this, but I don't like the location where it'd be coming in, so I'm probably going to come in right there. And I've got a couple of the Borg solar panel entry boxes. I've got two, and I'm going to see if I can modify one to accept these cables. I'm not really sure yet, so I'll have to show you that in future videos. So this is all for the solar at this time, and I'll see you in the next one. And this is how it's going to go in. I was able to put two cables in each hole there, and I'm going to cover it with some lap sealant and silicone. Haven't drilled the holes yet, but that's pretty much it. I don't need to show you how to drill a hole and butyl tape that down. These are going to go directly into the panel. I'll go ahead and show you real quick. They're all going to come in right there, and then I can run them straight down and right where the electrical panels are going to be. I'll see you in the next video. I hope this was helpful. Guys, it's the morning now, and I just wanted to show you a finished up video. I haven't cut off the excess squished out butyl tape yet or put on the lap sealant, but I will be doing that a little bit later today. I want to screw those screws down a couple more times. Every time you screw it down, more butyl tape spews out of the sides. So I want to do it a couple more times before finishing that. Here's the solar panel and roof rack. Lights are not ordered yet. I'm trying to figure out which lights. But this is a wrap. I'll be connecting the lights to either these side holes or directly in the top of the roof rack. I'm not sure yet, but probably these holes on the side most likely will be the best option. See you in the next video.